The generic countdown has ended.
Yeah.
The generic StreamYard countdown we were using for this intro, as we haven't done anything. I don't have the ability
And the
to.
not so generic podcast has begun.
Yes, we went through many names. This is not a podcast. Podcast. Uh, I think the one I thought of that I didn't send you over was like two beards, one mic, but it would make no sense because it's two beards, two mics.
Right, yeah, we're not sharing a mic or a beard.
We are not. No,
I mean, I trimmed today,
I
and
I did not.
excuse me.
I did the opposite of trimming. I have to trim now. It's fucking getting out there. Anyway, yeah. So this is the newest venture in the Verge family. It's the two P's in a podcast.
Mm.
And if you've known Nick and I for long enough, you know that we are, in fact, and have been two P's in the pod for the last 25 years,
It's
30 years.
I mean, it's going on
It's
it's going
going on
on
a
30.
it's going on a long time.
It's going on a long time.
It's yeah. We're old.
Yeah.
But
But you know what
we,
though? I I have learned that when you stop taking aging personally, it does get easier to deal with
yeah,
in that way of like it it doesn't happen to everyone. Um and I'm sort of leaning into some of those like little George Carlin bits of advice is like, when you get older, you're not responsible for anything. You don't have to carry anything heavy ever again. You can leave any event by saying you're tired. So
hmm
I'm looking forward to all of that. Um,
so am I. And we talked. Speaking of Carlin, we talked for a brief period of time about that AI Carlin special that someone put out.
that
And then
didn't make me mad so much as what's the word? Furious.
yes,
Um,
because it's weird to say. It sounded almost like George, like the style of the jokes and the delivery of them was eerily similar.
it was like it was like someone doing a really, really good impression, but then after a while, it's it's like when someone does an impression for a little too long, and you're like, okay, we get it,
Yeah,
but then they just keep going, and you're just sitting there in your seat whimpering, and you're like, stop,
he's,
stop it.
I beg you.
He's he's been dead for like 15 years.
Stop! Stop! He's already dead.
Yeah.
But yeah, like and but yeah, that bit of the and you're right. I'm getting there. I'll be 40 in June, and I'm getting to the point where it's like I can't wait till I'm gonna sit in a chair and well, I mean, Tom Segura said it too. Tom Segura in one of his specials, like people talk to you like you're a pet,
Yeah.
and it's just
How you doing, buddy?
it's. Do you need
Fine.
anything? Do you need anything? Yeah, fill my fucking water bowl. What the fuck is this? Like it's. I can't wait for that point in time to happen. If I get there, we'll find out. Can't wait for it to happen.
Mm.
Um, but we had a lot of stuff that was Nick being the glorious bastard that he is. Put together a Google Doc of things we were going to do tonight, and I was trying to think. I wanted to ask you with the one idea that you had: is it a legitimate Pokemon, or is it one that I just think of off the top of my head that you have to draw?
No, it would be okay. So for clarity's sake, uh a while back Len was like, hey, let's come up with some ideas, and I'm like, all right, I'll come up with a Google Doc, and he's like, that's a damn good idea. And I'm like, I know, it's on the document.
Yes, it
And sure enough, it is.
is.
I put it at the top of the list. um but no, the idea I had was basically you would do like a random number generator thing, and let's say it's in Pokemon number 735, because there are that many at this point, and then some. And then you would just Google Pokemon 735, and without telling me its name, you would purely just describe it. Be like, okay, it has
Oh, okay.
a round body and a round head. Uh, it's it's got yellow with black stripes or whatever, something like that, and its ears go out like this, and you know, just feel free to get as descriptive or not descriptive as you want because it's actually it's just like an art building technique kind of thing. I would have to see about setting up the camera to recognize my drawing tablet.
Which yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we get to that. Once we get all the bugs worked out from
Yeah, I think
that
today's
whole
just
thing.
kind of riffing, testing the waters. Uh, if anyone pops into their chat, or
There
is it
is,
just
yes, yeah. I think you can see it on your end. If not, I can see it on mine. I know. My friend Jackie is here. What's going on, Jackie?
yeah?
And she has her own show in the Verge family coming up, starting on Wednesday,
That's
Valentine's
right.
Day, called the
That's
Convo with Jackie.
right on.
Um, and but yeah. So the first thing that I wanted to bring up was one of the things on your list, which was the funny memes that we found, and I came across one a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
Once I came across your list, and I found it that day, and I was like, "This is the one that I'm using for the first one because it is glorious." So
Excellent.
let me share the screen real quick, and I'll bring up this. And so here we go. Brenda retired. Oh, sorry.
Oh,
So this is a bot
I fucking
created
love this.
obituary. Brenda retired from living at the age of old, surrounded by family and natural causes. A librarian from birth, Brenda was an avid collector of dust. She had a sweetheart and married her high school. She loved having hobbies and helping her sons to be disadvantaged youths. She had no horses, but thought she did. The church gave her a choir because she sang like a bird and looked like a bird, and Brenda was a bird. She owed us so many poems. The funeral will be held in 1977 at Heaven. In lieu of flowers, send Brenda more life.
More life. I love that.
It's
Oh my god. That's one of those ones that like I've I've seen this maybe 7 or 8 different times, but every time I reread it and fucking crack up. So
yeah,
it's one of the
it makes me laugh pretty much every time I come across
it's
it. And
like
again,
and it's like and
it's a
this
very
was a bird and was a bird and flew
it,
away.
yeah,
Give
and
her
is a
more
bird.
life.
Yeah, but then that shows where AI started. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was only 2020, I think,
Mhm.
and where it is now is
Yeah.
fucking weird.
Yeah, combine that with the the kind of stuff that I'm working on like at work. Um I can't go into super detailed specifics on this, but we make webcams, and one of the ones that's coming out is one it's like a meeting camera, and like you'll move around the room and it will follow you.
Oh, I've seen those.
Yeah, and it's freaking enormous. And I was testing it out yesterday, excuse me, because my coworker needed to get some footage of someone, moving around and having it track them. And it's so weird to be moving around and have this big honking camera, like a security camera, actively turn to face
Yes.
you no matter where you go in the entire room. It's
Yeah,
able to
I've
turn
seen
it's
them.
like being followed around like a robotic owl. It's
I've seen them
frightening.
um on like on TikTok, like the tripods that will follow you around like with your own phone, and they'll no matter where you go, they're moving around with you, and I'm like, that's really cool, but also it's rather unsettling at the same time.
Yeah, I'm sure, like, because I understand
We've all seen
in
Terminator.
practice, it's meant for like a college professor teaching over Zoom and they have to walk around and something like that. That I get. But in testing it at work, um, frightening,
Yeah,
kind of scary.
it's rather terrifying. Because again, we've all seen Terminator. We all know how that movie ends.
Uh,
We all know how fucking with the robots works out for us. It never works out that well.
I've heard that if you shout a paradox at a robot that's attacking you, it will make it kind of have like a brain fart and you can get away.
Huh.
Like if you're just like being chased by like a sentient robot and it's like crush, kill, destroy, you're like, can a set containing all sets contain itself? And they're like, uh, um, uh, 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 shutting down.
That is that is good to know. I will use that for future reference in case I come across any robots that happen to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second. Let's
Or you'll be there like, can a set containing all and you'll
and it's
just be
making
vaporized and this problem will solve itself
yes. I'm using all
in
these
a
like
way.
these weird new things on Facebook, like the followers at and the highlights at. I'm trying to see. I have no clue how this new shit works on this stupid website. It makes no sense to me. I
Newfangled internet.
like I keep bitching about like being tagged in random shit. Like this person tagged you in a post, and it's like at everybody, and then I do the same goddamn thing for this show.
Yeah, I get it. I don't mind getting pinged in messages except for when I'm driving.
Yeah.
Only because when I'm driving, I'm listening to music through my phone, and when I get pinged in messages, it like lowers the music volume
Oh yeah.
and
Yeah. I
then it
know.
waits a second and then brings it back up. And when I'm in group chats and everyone's messaging, it's like someone taking the knob on the radio and turning it up and down. And I don't have, you know, an actual person there to gently pat on the head and be like, please stop doing that.
I beg you. I'm enjoying the song. I just got done work. I need to get my anger out, and Slipknot helps me.
That's kind of where it's at, is like I need, and Spotify is starting to get it because in the morning it's all upbeat stuff and at the end of the day it's, day list is like guitar solo Thursday afternoon. I'm like, yes. And it's just like, you know, Mastodon, Black Sabbath, and
Did I ever? I'm pretty sure I've sent you a couple of them just to hurt your brain because they hurt me all the time on TikTok. Any videos of the guy that adds harmonies to guitar solos?
yes, the bad ones.
Well, yeah, I mean, yes, the bad ones. Yes, he basically uses the same key
Who
as the
hurt you?
solo and just makes it horrible.
I know. My question stands. Who hurt you? Like,
Anna sent me a video today that I meant to send you, and I totally forgot. It was a guy, and he was like, "I just strung my guitar. I'll do the next half tomorrow." And then he's going down the fretboard, and then at the very end, you see like a capo holding half the strings, and there's no more strings. It's like he cut them all in half and just put a capo there to hold it in place. And
ugh.
I didn't respond to her when she sent it to me, and she was at the house today, and she's like, "See the video I sent you?" I was like, "I did." Um, Go
Like,
fuck
I can
yourself.
ground you, right?
it's I mean, technically I can't. She's 18 now, but yes, I still can. I mean, technically I can't because she does live. She does. She's not here with me. She's at my mom's house, literally a minute away from where I currently reside.
Yeah. Just be like, child of mine, open up your bedroom window. And then you open up your window and you yell at her.
You're grounded.
It's like, you're grounded.
Oh my god.
And then just message her, do you hear that? And she's like, no. Be like, you're grounded.
Holy crap! Did you guys hear that? No, feel that. Did you guys feel that?
You guys feel that? I was watching videos today on um the quote unquote big one that's supposed to hit the West Coast at some point in the next 100 years.
Yeah.
Like the big gigantic earthquake.
And you're like, bring it on now. I'm done.
Not really. Because when it happens, Portland will essentially become beachfront property. Uninhabitable beachfront property, but it will be on the coast suddenly.
Out of nowhere, out of the blue,
Yeah.
unplanned, literally oceanfront property. I know that California got fucking slammed. Was it last week or something like that with like real nasty friggin' rain? Like they got
They
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 got their
did.
entire year amount of rain in a day.
I heard a month. I
Oh
heard
yeah,
I
yeah.
heard they got a month's
I'm
worth of
sorry,
rain
sorry.
in a
Yeah, yeah.
day.
It was a month worth. Yeah, it was like 12 or 13 inches of rain in a day. That's a lot of fucking rain in a
Yeah.
day.
And kind of like when Portland gets a bunch of snow all at once, I can kind of empathize because they just don't have the infrastructure for it.
Yeah.
Because Portland completely shuts down when it snows, and especially when we had an ice storm about a month back, I about lost my mind. Um,
I did see a lot of the videos on the TikTok, people out in the on the Portland, Oregon area,
yeah.
uh,
In fact,
doing
do you
doing
know
just
that
stupid shit.
do you know that classic Vine where it's this lady being interviewed by the news and it's like a kind of snowy evening and she's like, it's the perfect texture for running, it's really great, and she starts to run away and immediately falls on her ass.
Yes.
That was filmed right here in Portland, and there's actually a local news thing saying that that clip turns 10 years old this year.
That is fantastic.
I'm
Well,
like,
there's a
good to know.
great clip from a couple years ago. Let me see if I can find it real quick. It's from a few years ago from here in Jersey. Steve Keeley from Fox 29 just gets fucking slammed with a snowplow,
Nice.
and it's hold on a second, see if I can find the
Yeah, because I'll be honest, shitty weather was the last straw when I lived in the Midwest where I'm like, that's it. I'm out of here. I'm done. I'm not spending another winter here. Um, it was 2019. It was the polar vortex. Folks in the
I
Midwest will know what I'm talking about. That's when I was like, with wind chill factored in, it is 60 below zero.
I
The
remember
weather channels and everyone is advising you not to be outside for more than 10 minutes because you will get chest pains.
I remember when that when I still tell people this story to this day. That picture that you sent me, you walked out with that cup of noodles and the chopsticks, and then
Oh yeah.
you sent me it being frozen and taking place. And we only got a small portion of that polar vortex. So like we didn't get nearly as bad as you guys got it where you were. But I remember seeing like the pictures of the friggin' rivers that were like totally frozen over,
Yeah.
and it was fucking nuts. But yeah, I think I found that clip. So let me go back over to here and do the share screen. Don't show tips again. There we go. And I will pull Steve Kelly versus Snowplow. And so yeah, this is the
and a lot of ice. I'll
I'm
leave
gonna
it on a
oh,
nice note. Flitcraft, known as Hilly Flitcraft. He only had one
poor
summer
fucking
with the
guy.
Phillies. There goes a couple of plows demonstrating what I said.
Boom.
What I said, hitting us. All right,
and he and, and he just stays standing. like it didn't even friggin' happen. He just
Unflappable.
yeah.
Props to him.
It reminds me of that. There was this edit that I played for my buddy Jeff from my other show, and he I think he was crying laughing. And it's an obvious edit, and it was like a Make a Wish kid running a football for a touchdown, and he's running down the field, and all the players are following
I think
behind him,
I know
cheering him
what
on,
I think
and
I
then
know
some
it.
dude just comes out and just fucking just slams into him.
Yes.
And I played it on when we were at the studio, and I played it for him, and it was the hardest I think I've ever seen him laugh at anything. He was in wheezing laughter,
Mm-hmm.
and then I played it for him again like a week later, and he still found it just as funny as he did the first time.
Nice.
It's, let's get rid of that. I have something else queued up to play in a second. Um, a lot of people have seen it, but I came across it the other day, and I thought it was great. But we're going to do the first of our "Am I the Asshole" Reddit stories,
Oh, nice.
and I'm going to give you the option of which one to pick. Do
Okay.
you want? Let's see. Do you want the wedding singer? Do you want? Am I the asshole for telling my coworker he's not funny? Or do I want, am I the asshole for sending my sister to the hospital on, quote, purpose?
Let's
It's,
start with the second one for for saying a coworker isn't funny.
all right. Let's see. This is recent, too. About 3 months ago.
Hope
I
this
work at
is a lowball thing and not like blah, 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 blah. But they recently died, so they were sensitive about that.
I work in a butcher shop with a bunch of more conservative, cisnet white guys. I walked into this job knowing I wasn't going to change them, and it wasn't my goal. I like my job, I like the environment, and I like my coworkers, except for one. I'll call him Dave. I love the ones where it's like I'm not going to mention this guy's by name. I'm just going to call him Dave. Um, Dave was introduced to me as the quote special needs worker on my first day. Um, Dave's the kind of guy who likes being the center of attention, no matter what. I was usually tune him out and focus on my work. The other guys laugh at his jokes, and as long as no one's in danger, I might chuckle too. Usually not because I just don't think. Usually not because I just don't think he's funny. Recently, he's been making more and more jokes that are outright bigoted. Most of the time, the guys are give half-hearted chuckles and brush them off, and I just don't laugh. I don't engage with them at all. I'm not going to change them, and I need this job. Yesterday, another coworker made a funny comment about me being 5 foot tall, and I snorted so loud they heard me from the freezer. Dave loudly said he didn't know I could laugh. I brushed it off because I didn't want to start anything. He cornered me and kept asking why I laughed at Brian's joke but not his. I told him outright I don't think he's funny. I didn't say why I don't think he was funny, just that he isn't funny. Uh, Dave got mad and stormed off. Brian asked me about it, and I was honest. I simply told him I don't think Dave's funny. Probably never will. He nodded and moved on. Today, Dave's been sulking and grumbling about how I'm so mean, how I can't take a joke, and everyone else thinks he's funny. One of the guys who wasn't there when it happened said I'm just being a bitch because they're just jokes, and Dave is special needs. So is this guy the asshole for not laughing at bigoted jokes being spoken by a special needs employee?
No.
Hello, Anna.
Hi, Anna. Good to see you. I
Yes,
can't
yes.
see you, but it's
We
good that you're here.
we are reading Am I the Asshole?
Yeah, I'm gonna say no, not the asshole, because you know special needs or not,
Don't be an
you
asshole.
don't be bigoted, because I mean, I've had
Especially,
plenty of people tell me I'm not funny. Sometimes it sucks to hear it. Sometimes it's like, yeah, you wouldn't find me funny because you have no sense of humor. But it's
yeah,
easy to like just fucking I don't know. Get over it.
that is and it just said not the asshole. I literally just got here and didn't hear a bit of this.
Yeah.
Basically, it was a guy asking if he was the asshole for not laughing at a special needs employee's bigoted jokes. So yes, it's correct. He is not the asshole, and I'm pretty sure. I think all of the comments were like, "No, you're not the asshole."
Yeah.
So let me bring. So we'll do the other two in a second. I'm gonna bring this up real quick because I came across this the other day, and you might have seen it before. But there was a documentary that came out on Hulu. It was a couple years ago called "Too Funny to Fail,"
Okay.
and I'm not sure what it was about. I've just seen this clip. It was the worst ad placement in history for sitcoms, according to whoever posted it. It's the worst ad placement ever. And I'm gonna try to like bring it up where you won't be able to see the fucking title of the video of the video. But I don't think we're gonna be able to. So we're gonna do this and then this, and then bring it up automatically.
Tuesday, a parent's worst fear, losing a child.
I don't want to die.
You never know whose family it will happen to. An episode so powerful, it hits home.
We'll beat this thing, no matter what it is, you know? I'm not letting anything happen to you.
A special home improvement followed by the Diet Mug Root Beer Dana Carvey Show.
It was like one of my favorite videos.
It's-
Followed by the Diet Mug Root Beer Dana Carvey special.
which surprisingly did not last more than I think 2 seasons.
Well, no, I mean, after, you're gonna get tired of winning after that.
I know, right? Like, there's not much more you can do. After
It's like we're gonna cap it at 2 seasons. You can't have us winning everything.
it's just like, I mean, what more can you do? You just put your show's advertisement right behind the most like somber, like, a kid's gonna die during Home Improvement, and then the Diet Mug Root Beer Dana Carvey Show.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem is the guy who was reading that TV spot had to have done it a bunch of times because there's no way he got the straight face while he was reading that.
Well, either that or it had to have been recorded in segments, so they could have
They edited it together.
edited it so they can say this show followed by this show and just switch them out.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
It's like Home Improvement followed by the Drew Carey Show, followed by the Diet Mug Root Beer Dana. Just I do that. What's weird is I do that kind of shit now, and I do that thing where I have to like sometimes record something, like where I have to record a sentence halfway through the sentence.
Oh, that's gonna be annoying.
It's weird. I mean, or what it is sometimes it'll be I have to record a sentence, but half of it is me facing the camera. So the original take will be me like reading from a script over here, and then halfway through the sentence, I have to go like this real quick. Which is my workaround for instead of having to like pretend like I was, because that way I can get some like momentum speaking,
Yeah.
But it's funny because I'm editing it later and I'll see a video of myself being like, the projector will do this when you switch inputs, and then it will always make sure to. I've become kind of the de facto, I don't want to say the face of the company, but like, because I have zero problems with being on camera or recording stuff or listening to my own voice, everyone's like, all right, fine, you can be on camera all the time for every video. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, good. I'll take it. but all it does is, and we've referenced this in conversation numerous times, and it's gonna start a roller coaster. But every time I hear, with editing and whatnot, all I can think of is that goddamn Orson Welles fucking the French.
The French. Known everywhere for its excellence.
just the more it went on, and then when you come across the actual like commercial, they had to have gotten him at like 8 o'clock in the morning, like before he had anything to drink, because you watch that full commercial and it's like pristine. There's nothing about it that even signals the numerous outtakes from
Oh,
that
yeah.
commercial shoot.
Yeah, it's like just try this champagne.
The,
It's good.
the best part one of the funniest parts about it though is when they go the action Orson, and he's just nothing, and then excuse Tom,
Sorry, excuse me.
and but when he's just sitting there and they go action Orson and he's sitting there and he's like, they don't do anything. There's just something about, like, he's done like 8 takes and he forgot he had lines.
Right.
It's
like, oh, is it my turn to speak? It's like, you're the only one speaking.
They're waiting to like pop the champagne and he just waiting. They don't say anything. It's like, no, Orson, you fucking buffoon.
It's the most boring soap opera ever.
Did you see, kind of segueing to music for a moment, Ozzy Osbourne's tweet and Facebook post he made today about Kanye West?
Yes. Yes, I did. About how he was like, Kanye asked me if he could sample this, and I said no.
And then he did it anyway.
I just want to say fuck that guy. Like, yeah, I'm on that.
Yeah. I'm pretty much on for the fuck Kanye bandwagon. I've been on it for a couple years now.
Yeah, same.
Like, he was okay for a while, and
because for a while you could kind of separate the art from the artist, but after a while it's like no, you can't anymore.
yeah, and they said things like Hitler was great.
Yeah. Once he started saying, even before that, I had to start distancing myself, and I will admit I liked his music for a while.
Yeah.
I had someone get me into it when they were like, give him a try, and this is all before. This is after he went crazy, but before he went like insane. Does that make sense?
Makes total sense, actually.
Like, he went crazy, and he was like musically like really, really good, and you could sort of separate the art from the artist. Then he got divorced, and it was all downhill.
Yeah, a tad.
Because because the thing that made me start to be like, all right, I can't fuck with this anymore, is even before the anti-Semitic shit, it was when he was starting to kind of like really be very sort of dismissive and reductive about mental health shit. Especially on his, like, it's like, bro, you have bipolar and depression. Like, you should be using this as a platform to help people and not use it as like, self-deprecating punchlines.
Yeah. Like, you should be, when, especially with someone like him who has the reach to be able to be like, I have mental health issues. I have, I've been able to get help, and if I can, you can, and here's who you can call, and here's who you can reach out to, and yeah.
That's why look at
Logic. Look at what the fuck's his name? Brandon Novak from the CKY and from Jackass and whatnot.
Uh-huh.
He takes his sobriety so seriously that he gives his phone number out to people, like people that are like he has it posted on his social media and the whole nine. If
Oh,
you're struggling
damn.
with addiction or whatnot, you can call him and he'll help you and he'll talk you through it and give you places to go for help. Like he is like, here's my personal phone number.
Damn. Good for him.
Call me whenever you want to. And I kind of hope that I don't think he will, and not because I don't think he wants to, because I think it would be kind of a bad thing for him. But Bam Margera has, as far as I know, has been he has stayed clean.
Well, good for him.
But I don't think he's the kind of guy that can give his phone number out, because he'd be getting blown up by everybody like, yo, it's Bam Margera.
Yeah, I think Bam's still kind of working on himself, and I'm glad to see it.
He was at NJ HorrorCon here in AC a few months ago, and when he was first announced, like everyone was in the comments, like everyone was like, he's not going to show up because he was at Monster Mania a couple years ago, and once his line went down, he's like, okay, I'm going to go home now. And the person working was like, no, you have to stay because people are going to come back to your
Yeah,
table.
more people are
Like
going to
there's
show up. Like,
more people are
just
here.
hang out.
And he was like,
You'll
no, I'm
continue to
leaving.
make money.
And he just bounced. So the guy
That's
who runs
right.
it,
I remember you telling me about this.
and then the guy who ran it called Phil and talked to Phil, and Phil came and took his place, and he had a bigger line than Bam did. It's, so when he was announced for HorrorCon, people were like, "Ray, he's not going to show up," and yada 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 yada. And I was like, I'd want
Excuse
to
me.
go meet him, but I don't want to. I don't want to see the Bam I've been seeing on TMZ and the news, like this like overweight and like sad looking version of Bam. If I'm meeting Bam, I want to meet the Bam that I grew up watching on CKY and Jackass. And then I saw pictures with him, and he's like dropped like 60 pounds. He's skateboarding again, and
Good.
so he's looking like Bam Margera again. And like, that's what I needed to see. I needed to see him taking the shit seriously, because he never was. Like, he'd be sober for a little while, and like 6 months down the road, you hear like Bam Margera drunk in front of bar and punches pedestrian. It's like, fucking Bam. Like, it's just,
As Bam for you.
he's Bam Margera. What's he gonna do next? It's just,
Like, whatever the fuck I want. It's like, that's kind of the problem, Bam.
I think one of the most viewed TikToks I ever made, and I think it's still to this day one of the most viewed ones I did, was me saying life is like Bam Margera, and we're all just Phil trying to take a shit in peace. It's, and every now and then I'll get there'll be a new like on that video. It's like, but the video's like 2 years old and it's still somehow recycling through the FYP that people are coming across it again.
Yeah, that's been happening to me lately with that Game Grumps animated I made like 4 years ago with Weird Al. It has suddenly seen a resurgence, and it's nice because it's giving my whole channel a boost.
Yeah.
But suddenly like it's suddenly being suggested again, and I'm able to check the analytics of the videos, and apparently it's being suggested on like official Game Grumps videos.
Oh, nice.
So I don't know if you've seen that recently, but it's suddenly seeing a resurgence. Like a quarter of the views it's gotten in the last 4 years have been in the last month.
Damn.
And it recently this past week hit over 50,000 views.
Well, goddamn.
So I imagine you could probably go into YouTube and just Google Game Grumps animated Weird Al, and my video will probably be within the first 10.
Let's find out. Hold on. Game Grumps animated Weird Al. Let's see if yours is the first one.
That's awesome.
The first video I come across typing in Game Comes Weird Al, yours is the first one that pops up.
Nice.
It's no.
Well, let's
go
watch that
away.
then. Fuck it.
Why the hell not? Let's bring that up. Let's go to here and then to here and then back to here and then here.
It's nice because I was kind of looking for a sign of like, should I start animating again?
I feel, you know, I've had so many traumatic video games experiences in my life. The first time I went to Trey Parker's house from South Park, the Wii's had just come out. Wii Bowling had just come out. And I'd never played Wii before. You know, you do it like regular bowling. Like you have the control in your hand and you like do the steps and you supposedly release the ball, but you don't actually release the Wii controller. But me not being used to that, I threw the Wii controller as hard as I could at the TV set.
Did it break?
No, but it made the loudest noise. It was like a big party, and everybody was like, "What was that?" And yeah, thankfully the screen didn't crack, but it was just sort of like, you know, because it's such a natural thing. Like, oh, you're bowling, you just like throw the controller.
There's a whole compilation of people destroying their TV sets with Wii remotes. It's very.
And then they came out with a strap, I guess,
Yes.
right? Which makes a lot of sense.
Do they not have the strap at the beginning?
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, that was a design flaw.
Disaster.
That was after a few people cracked their sets. They're like, "Yeah, Al needs a strap."
Yeah, we're tired of paying for this.
Al needs a strap is something that no one ever thought would be.
Okay. Everyone in the comments is because I see every single comment and everyone's like, there's like two kind of comments on that video. It's either someone commenting on the phrase Al needs a strap, or people going, well, actually, it did come with the Wiimotes. The Wiimotes did come with strap at first, but it just wasn't very strong, and so they reinforced it, and so this, that, and I'm like, I appreciate your knowledge, but I respectfully don't care. Might sound rude, but thanks for watching.
I respect the tell you to go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
With all due respect. So I just hopped on Twitter and got the I just got scared because I
that happens a lot when you go onto that website.
Yeah, well, for me, like when we're doing this show or the other show, I'll go to the trending topics and see what's trending right now. And right now it's a lot of wrestling stuff because SmackDown's on as we speak. But Danny DeVito is trending. And I was like, no. And I clicked on it, and it was just some random story about Danny DeVito. I'm like, dear God, Twitter needs to not scare me like that because I don't need, we can't lose Danny DeVito at this point. He's a treasure, has to be kept safe.
Yeah, we need to protect him with bubble wrap and other, he would be eggshell cartons.
He would be adorable wrapped in bubble wrap. Just rolling down a hill, he would love it.
Well, no, like bubble wrap and eggshell cartons. He could still be the trash man.
He could be, yes. The trash business is a gold mine.
I'm just saying there could be certain levels of trash that he could wear that would provide the most reinforcement and defense.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's the best idea. There's so many we have to keep safe right now. It's 2024. We had an awful 2023. We had to like wrap like Mel Brooks in bubble wrap, Ozzy in bubble wrap, Danny DeVito. There's a handful of others I can't think of off the top of my head right now.
Give them athletic cups too, just to be safe.
Oh yes, yeah, 100%, yeah. Because yes, yeah. There's a couple that I would wouldn't have much of a problem with if they kicked it. I'm not going to mention any names.
All right. Right.
What one might be orange.
Oh, yeah. Not my beer.
Yes, your beer.
It's empty, so it's
already dead. He's dead, Jim. So let's see. Let's do the second of the least or most monotonous, I guess. The least of the least worst. I'm stopping talking now. Am I the asshole? This is the wedding singer. I got
Yes.
married last week. My wife and I are both in our 30s. I am Mexican and she is American. We both grew up in the U.S. and both of our families know both languages. My wife planned every bit of the wedding and was very controlling and nervous bride, but all right, I get that she was stressed. During the reception, I went to the band and asked them to play a song for me to sing to my wife. Um, it was Te Amare by Miguel Bose. It was a song from our first date in a really bad Mexican restaurant, so it became a long-standing joke between the two of us. The guests really loved the song. My mother-in-law cried and told me it was beautiful, but my bride seemed upset. I asked her what was wrong, and she said how, and she said I'm an asshole for taking the spotlight to enforce my ethnicity and not just let the band sing our song for us. So am I the asshole?
No. You're trying to do something nice for your wife on your wedding day.
Yes, you are singing to her. You're singing the song that played on your first date that you both know, and rather than have the band sing it for her, you have chosen whether you can sing or not sing is not the point. You have chosen to sing the song for her as a romantic gesture
Yeah.
of your love.
And I will say, as somebody who doesn't mind occasionally being the center of attention, one thing that is easily like the most difficult thing that I can imagine doing publicly is singing. Like,
Yeah.
put me on a live stream with 1,000 people. If all I have to do is talk and joke around, I can handle that no problem. You ask me to sing in a room with 3 people, I will clam up like a fucking mollusk. Like,
There was,
eh,
I gotta tell you, for as someone who frequented karaoke bars, uh, pretty often actually, um, when A Star Is Born came out, the remake of it with Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper,
okay.
the amount of drunk couples that went to the fucking bar and sang "Shallow." Uh,
Oh yeah. I never saw the movie, but I know what you're talking about.
yeah, like everybody knows the song. It was a good song.
I mean, I just remember there was like a duet song from the
Yeah,
movie.
yeah. It was Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga, and Cooper has a surprisingly good voice. But
Well, of course, he's Rocket Raccoon.
yeah, I know.
Duh.
But but yeah, the amount of drunk couples that go up there, we're gonna sing "Shallow," and I'm like, God damn it! I'd rather hear Vince Neil sing than hear drunk couples sing "Shallow." Matter of fact, when I go to karaoke bars, I will sing Poison songs now because I believe not Poison, I Def Leppard, no Motley Crue songs because
Okay.
I believe I can sing almost like Vince Neil can now. So it really can't sound worse than he actually does sound
Yeah.
in current times.
It's like
There
this is a
was
song called Dr. Feelgood.
it's,
He's
there,
gonna feel good. He's gonna
there,
make you feel all right.
there was a comedy special I watched a few months back. It was Mark Maron
Hmm.
on Netflix. I think it wasn't End Times Fun. I think it was called Too Real or something like that, where it talks about going to see the Rolling Stones. Um, and he was like, because uh, they get out and they're singing this song on the center stage, and it's a beautiful song,
Excuse
and
me.
mix it in all the high notes, and it sounded great. And then they did something they shouldn't have done. They took, they had the big screens and took the camera and zoomed right on a Mick's face. And I was like, oh God, why did I have the Mick? It's like, why? He's like, you can see every line, you can see the hair dye. He's like, everything about him you can see on these giant 50-foot screens.
Oh Jesus.
It's like, why do that to Mick? Why? It was a horrible decision.
Mm-hmm.
It's like zooming in on Ozzy now. Like
Yeah. Yeah, he does kind of like I love Ozzy to death, but he does sort of look like uh Ganondorf in the first few minutes of the new Zelda game when he's all like still mummified. I mean, he's
However,
a lot nicer than Ganondorf.
yeah. However, the podcast he does with Sharon and the kids it's fantastic. I've seen so many clips of that be it on YouTube or TikTok, and they're fantastic. I have to start watching or listening on a more frequent basis because it's the only way that I will be able to see the Osbournes not on MTV.
Yeah.
Of course, that was a great show. I loved the Osbournes when it was on MTV. Scripted
Yeah.
or not, I thought it was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. Speaking of music, are there any new bands that you've been getting into? Because I don't know. I've been randomly finding some shit over the last few months.
Not really, and it's my own fault. It's one of those things like kind of set in my ways and not really venturing out into new ventures. Like hell, Iceland Kills has been around for years, and I just now found out about them a couple years ago when they put out Silver Scream. Um, but yeah, there's not a lot of like new bands that I for a while digging Greta Van Fleet, and then I gave up on them because there was Led Zeppelin Light.
That's kind of what I heard. Have you listened to Turnstile at all?
I have, yes.
All right. Their Glow On album, I recently got that on vinyl, and it's super nice.
I will check it out. Um,
I believe I think it was something like I think they opened for Blink-182 recently.
I think so, yeah. Actually, no, there's a band that I saw. They opened up for ironically enough, 5 Seconds of Summer when they played in Philly back in August. I'm not sure if Anna's still in the fucking chat or not. She'd know the band I'm talking about. Give me
Yes,
one
they opened for
second.
Blink. Sorry.
Seconds now of summer opening band. I have to see if I can remember who the hell it was. There's a female female fronted band, and they were really good. That's kind of fucking yeah. I can't remember who the hell it was that friggin' opened up for him. Yeah, son of a bitch. I'll find it again. It'll pop up on uh, my Facebook at some point because they're playing somewhere local over in Philly. Uh, I think in a few months, but I can't remember. I can't remember who the hell what the band was called. It's bothering me now. Let's see. Was this? No, that wasn't it. But they're very much like a punk rock.
Are they Australian?
Well, Five Sauces, yeah, but the band that opened up for him was not. They were. What the hell was the tour called? Oh, it was It was the 5
and the
Seconds
Sniffers
of Summer show. Let's see. That was the tour. The 5 Seconds of Summer show. I'll find it in a second as we're sitting here talking.
Yeah.
Um,
What else? I mean, I've told you about King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard before.
Yes, ironically enough, Anna and I were at I think FYE a while ago, and she will always go through the vinyls,
Yes.
and whatnot, and she came across the vinyl of King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard.
Which one?
I do not know off the top of my head. I can't remember what album it
Did it
was.
look like a giant Godzilla head?
It might have, yes.
Oh, because I fucking want that album. That's probably gonna be the next one I buy off of like Amazon or something like that. Because for some reason, like, because they are, for like all of their other albums, largely very chill and get a little heavy every now and then. But otherwise they're like a jam band, but like good. Um and so for some reason, for one album, they're like, you know what? Let's just get heavy metal as fuck for like one album. And they knocked it out of the park for that album. And like pretty much every song on that album was on my Spotify Wrapped.
That is, yeah. My Spotify rap this year was so fucking bonkers.
Yeah.
It was so goddamn weird. It was like Ice Nine Kills, Rammstein, Slipknot, Korn, Billy Joel, Elton John, Barry Manilow because of my goddamn daughter, because she became obsessed with with fucking Copacabana. And, and I'm like, why? Why is this song haunting me now? I have avoided this song for years, and now Anna's like, play Copacabana. I'm like, no.
Or
This was
at
hot.
least, I mean, at least play Dave Grohl's cover of Copacabana. Because Dave Grohl did a very good cover of it.
Did he really?
Yes. He also did a really good cover of Fuck the Pain Away by Peaches.
Huh.
You know that song, like sucking on my titties like you
Yeah.
wanted me, calling me all the time. Yeah, Dave Grohl singing that while drumming.
Did you see did you get around to watching the movie they put out, Studio 666?
No, I need to.
It is when it first came out. It was during, I think it was during COVID. It first came out. So I checked it out and I thought it was fantastic. Like it is it is what it is. It's a Foo Fighters horror movie. Like
Yeah.
that is all it is. But it has one of the greatest cameos of all time. Lionel Richie's in it,
Oh wow.
and it's this scene where like Dave's playing a piano and he's singing "Hello," and
Mhm.
then Lionel Richie just appears and puts his hand on his shoulder. And he's like, "Dave," and he's like, "Lionel," and he's like, and he goes, "Look, I get it. We all get writer's block. I understand, but that's my fucking song." It's- he goes, "Write your own song. It's my fucking song." He's walking out of the room. And I'm like, this was random cameo I think I've ever seen in a movie.
Yeah. It's like, okay, sorry.
Yeah, it's just the anger, just my fucking song. I'm like, that's fantastic. I never thought I'd hear Lionel Richie drop an F bomb.
It's similar to the who was it in basketball at the very end? Was it
I can't remember. I have to watch it again. I haven't watched that in a while. I have to.
Reggie is it Reggie Jackson? No.
I can't remember. Let's find out. It's got to be here on. It's got to be here on the Google
Hang on,
machine
I'm
somewhere.
hacking into the mainframe. Also known as the internet. Reggie Jackson. Yes, I was right.
Okay.
Where he was like it's like I caught the whole other home run balls. Never found the wretched little shit that got the third one.
Yeah, I literally typed in in the YouTube basketball Reggie Jackson.
I typed in basketball cameos.
I haven't watched that movie in so long. I've been working very slowly on and having Alyssa learn the ways of the movies that I watch, so she understands half the fucking quotes I say in the course of the days that we're hanging out together.
Yeah.
The
God, wow,
first,
got a lot of cameos in this movie. Let's see. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Dale Earnhardt, Reggie Jackson, Jim Lampley, Kenny Mayne, Tim McCarver, Pat O'Brien, Dan Patrick, the band Real Big Fish, Victoria Silvstad playing Man of the Year, Robert Stack, Greg Grunberg, Kevin Michael Richardson, Peter Sayo, Bob Costas, Al Michaels.
Jesus Christ. Do you think they knew what they're signing up for when they agreed to be in this fucking movie?
No, but at the same time, that movie got me into Real Big Fish, which kind of got me into ska.
Yeah.
Which, speaking of ska, are you familiar with a very old ska band called the Specials?
I think so, yes.
I found the Goodwill find of the century of an original pressing of their album from I think like 1980 for like $3.
God
And
damn.
like the main track on the album was a song that, like, I don't know if you've ever had a song stuck in your head, but you only know like a little bit of it,
Yes.
no words, you can't figure out what fucking song, and it bugs you for literal years.
Mm-hmm.
The first track on this album was that song, and I was
That
like,
song?
I was meant to find this album. And then go online and people are trying to sell it on Mercari for like $80. I'm like, I found it for $3.
Yeah, I win. Yeah, these chairs are uncomfortable. But it's, I think I asked Sleep last texted her and asked her who that band was. They're really fucking good too. It's bothering me that I can't remember who the hell it was. It was, yeah, it's God, yeah. I can't fucking remember. It'll pop up at some point on my feed because they're playing in Philly at some point, and um, but yeah, they're actually really good, surprisingly good. But yeah, let's bring up the third and final.
You said they opened for 5 Seconds of Summer?
Yeah, on the 5 Seconds of Summer show that they just completed it, and I'm on the Google
The
machine.
Take My Hand World Tour?
Not that one. No, it was the 5 Seconds of Summer show. And I can't. Yeah, it is bothering me because nowhere
Charlotte
on.
We'll find it. Here, tell me about the is this the third Am I the Asshole?
Yes, the third Am I the Asshole. This is the one where the guy put his sister in the hospital. So to start off, I want to say my sister is extremely allergic to shrimp. If the shrimp has touched anything, and then my sister touches it, she gets an allergic episode on her skin being red and itchy, but it stops after a while. One more thing, my sister and mom don't understand the concept of privacy or asking for permission, so they eat most of the time each other's stuff or my stuff. Now for the story. The other day I made pasta with shrimp, specifically only one plate for me since no one else eats it. I ate all the shrimp included and left some of the leftover pasta on the table, but I covered it up with another plate in hopes I would eat it later. I didn't think too much of it and went on with my day. It's When I came back, I was welcomed with lots of swearing and curses by my mom because my sister ate the pasta and she had a reaction to it, so they rushed her to the hospital. After fighting, she calmed down and said it was my fault. My sister is fine. I just don't understand how this is my fault because I've asked some of my friends, and they tell me that I had fucked up for real. And edit. That day I was making the pasta. My sister had said she wouldn't come home and spend the day with her dad. And as someone mentioned, with when someone's allergic, they look out for stuff they eat. The pasta was smelling extremely bad shrimp smell. I would never want to hurt my sister, so relax. It was an accident, you could say. So no, yeah, it's the same thing. 3 in a row. This guy's not the
Yeah.
asshole.
I mean,
If
I
you
don't
are,
think so. If it's not intentional, then I don't think so.
yeah, if you are not allergic, or sorry, if you are allergic to something, don't just eat random food on the off chance it
Yeah,
might
kinda
have
like
what you're allergic to.
yeah. Was the band Meet Me at the Altar?
That was it. Thank you. God damn, it was bothering me so fucking much. Meet me at the altar, and they were surprisingly they were very good. But
Oh yeah.
let's go back over to here and close this out, and then I'm going to bring up. Let's see if I can get some music news. Yeah, I'll go to the Rolling Stone website. That's going to be great. And then we'll go. So, speaking of music, real quick, I'll bring this up. A friend of mine works for Bet365, which is like sports betting and whatnot.
Yeah.
And they they just included a couple of new bets that you can do for the big sports ball game happening in a couple days.
Oh yeah, the Superb Owl.
And it was how many times will they show Taylor Swift during the game? And then you could also bet on whether or not Travis Kelce will propose to her on the field when the game is over.
No.
No. No. No, he won't, because once the games are over, he'll realize how annoying she is. We actually have a book at my store called 96 Facts About Taylor Swift.
I mean, hey, whatever. We're all trying to keep the lights on, I guess. Okay, that's what I think when I see books like that, because I'm like, you know what, the person who published this book, they're just like me. They're just trying to pay bills. I won't buy it.
Yeah. Somebody will. See, why is it? That's this is loading up slower, so I'll do this one first. Oh god damn it! I fucking hate Rolling Stone. Subscribe to read the full article.
Ugh.
Eat a bag of dicks. So since I know what the story is now, I was looking up myself. That's how you do it. There we go. And now I can actually read the story. The singer just kicked off the Australian leg of her summer carnival tour Friday, when crew members off stage oddly began motioning for her to stop. Pink eventually decoded their confusing signals, however, and happily halted the concert. Oh my God, why did it take me so long? Pink told the Sydney crowd while mimicking her crew, as seen in the viral TikTok footage. So you don't want me as a trivia partner? I told you I think I prefer charades. So apparently, during Pink's concert, a fan went into labor.
Why would you be near full term, and I go to you know what? I'm not going to tell anyone how to live their life, but
This is the second time in a year that Pink has halted a show for a fan that was pregnant. It's,
well,
I mean, to be
she's-
fair, there's not a lot of moshing happening at a Pink concert, so they're
I mean,
relatively safe.
I don't know. I mean, could be a lot of moshing, could be a little bit, could be a whole bunch.
Did I ever tell you about those fucking hands? I didn't have the screen up. I was reading the story, so I didn't see that you had tiny hands on the
Yeah.
son of a bitch. It's so I have to tell you, and you'll get a kick out of this because I don't think I told you this yet. At work, I am the cosmetic care specialist. That's one of my duties. Hey, we're talking. It's one of my duties at work is making sure all the makeup and the cosmetic things are ready to go and they're properly stocked. So we got a new set of some stuff in, and I was putting it out, and I'm a guy. Red is red. It's what I mean. Like there's 4 shades of lipstick. They're all red. Everyone is red to me. Like it might be a bit, a small, minute, darker shade, but it's
Light
fucking
red.
it's fucking
Dark
red to
red.
me. Pretty
Reddish
much,
red.
yeah, yeah.
Very
So
red.
I was talking to Amy on the phone, and she had me on speakerphone, and I was talking about how I was having a problem discerning the colors for the makeup. And Rob had heard me, and Rob came out with, "Oh wait, so Lynn is having some trouble with hues?" And my response was, "I'm hanging up now. I'll talk to you later." And I hung the phone
Yeah,
up.
I would too. You know,
It's- like it caught me so off guard, and I tried so hard to not laugh, and I let a little bit, I let a small giggle out.
yeah, it's just like I'm awarding you full points and I'm hanging up. Those two things can coexist.
Yes. Well, it's like Marco the other day. Marco was at the house on Saturday. We were watching the Rumble, doing a watch along thing, and I was talking about how because WrestleMania is going to be in Philly this year, and they're doing like a this brunch thing, like twice a day, Saturday and Sunday. It's like a brunch thing they're doing, and it's like all inclusive. It's paid for. It's like $300, and it's like your food's paid for, drinks are paid for, and a lot of the competitors are going to be there, walking around, and meeting at your table, and signing shit, and taking pictures, and talking to you, and the whole nine. And Marco just came out with, "Oh, it's a character breakfast," and because we're both Disney kids, so it's like a Disney character breakfast, only it's like for adults. It's wrestlers this time, and because it was just so quick, it was like that. It's like, oh, it's a character breakfast, and Marco doesn't get me very often.
Yeah.
Usually it's me getting him, but it was like one of the few times that he got me pretty good. Like I laughed pretty damn hard at that. The only time
When
that I can
Marco
remember.
gets you, he fucking gets you.
Oh yeah, and the worst one
He
he got
picks
me.
his spots.
The
And he lulls you into a false sense of security by laughing at all of our shit.
And then he'll just fucking hit you out of nowhere with just something that's just like out of the blue. And the one that I remember vividly, and it was one of the first couple episodes of Verge, back when it was still called Powerbomb Radio. And we were waiting. We were going to be interviewing this guy Al Snow, who was a former ECW wrestler, worked for WF at the time, and he used to carry around a mannequin head. And his theme song was "What do we want?" And, what does everybody want? And they all went head, and he would come out and fucking do the thing. So he was delayed calling us. So he finally called us. It was about a half hour late, and we talked for like 25 minutes. He was super cool. So we hang up the phone, and I made reference about how he was late calling us, and Marco just came at me with, "Well, sometimes you have to wait for head." and it
Just that it's so deadpan. It's like
it's
sometimes you have to
so.
just wait for that.
And that's the thing, Marco. That's how he is. It's all
Very matter of
deadpan.
fact.
Yeah, it's just like go
Well,
wait for a head
sometimes
sometimes.
you have to do that. You know
And
this.
I
You're an
think
adult.
he is very much in the way of like a Stephen Wright. Like what he says is so deadpan, but sometimes he just says it at the right time, and it's just like, God damn it, man, you just fucking
I can levitate birds, but nobody cares.
yeah. And yeah, it's what's the teacher one time asked me, if you were anything, what would you want to be? I said a bird. Why, so you could fly? I said no, so my shit would be white. Like it's just he was
Or the clip from when he was on Colbert recently. He's like,
yes.
I got a friend who was recently really into getting electric things. He had an electric guitar, an electric car, and then he got an electric chair, and I haven't heard from him recently after that.
It's- I thought I'm gonna be honest with you, I thought he died because I hadn't heard from him in so long.
Yeah.
He's one of those people he pops through, you're like, oh, thank God he's still alive.
Yeah.
It's,
Like,
oh, okay, good. We didn't lose him.
no. It's like, no, I was just asleep on the couch again.
What month is it? It's
What month is it?
yeah, is it February? No, man, it's April. Huh.
Hmm.
It's, he was. We always talk about friends and I talk about all the time, like perfect casting, like like Marvel. Everything they did was the perfect casting. Chris Hemsworth is Thor, RDJ is Iron Man. Like the casting was perfect.
Sure.
The guy on the couch was Stephen Wright. Like there's
Yeah.
nobody else they could have casted that would have done that role as well. And he only had what, like 3 lines in the entire goddamn movie.
Yeah. I mean,
And it was just the guy on the couch. And that's
sometimes that's all you need.
what, the guy on the couch with 3 lines.
3 lines. Sometimes that's all you need to like just steal the show.
Yeah.
I mean, Silent Bob, like Kevin Smith only
Yeah.
says, one sentence in a movie, yet it's like always in the quote section of any movie.
Yeah. Yes, yeah. Usually Kevin Smith's lines are the ones that make the most sense.
Yeah.
They're the most poignant lines in the entire goddamn movie.
Yeah. And what's funny is the first movie I noticed that with was Dogma.
Yes.
With just the no ticket. The fact that he says it so like indignantly, like, can you fucking believe that?
For me, the one that gets me every fucking time is from Jay and Silent Bob Straight Back when he's trying to tell him what's going on. The sign on the back of the car said "Animals of Hollywood."
Oh yeah, and then he just goes into his whole diatribe later with Jason Lee, and he's like, and Jay's like, yeah, he said.
I love. I'm so happy that we didn't lose him with that freaking heart attack.
Oh
Like
yeah,
that was when that news broke. I was like, how did you survive a Widowmaker? And you find out that weed saved him.
oh yeah, because he was so chill. He was able to just maintain. What's funny is that same weekend that happened, I was at a convention out in Seattle, and somebody had just basically just taken a Silent Bob cosplay and just put him in a
No.
hospital gown and then put the trench coat over it. And from like 20 feet away, I saw it. I was like, nice. And I made eye contact. He's like, thanks.
There's so many things that this coming, speaking of cons, Monster Mania coming up this coming March. A lot of cosplays. I hope I see. I hope I hope I see a Black Knight. I hope I see Like John Lovitz is going to be there. I hope I see a guy walking around dressed as the critic. You know, I
Just
hope I
point at
see.
John Lovitz and go, "It stinks."
I want to see somebody walking around dressed like as him, but as that pathological liar character he had on SNL. Because that was one of my favorites. One of my all-time favorite bits they used to do was like, yeah, I'm a lawyer. Yeah, I just had a
Yes, I'm
case
a lawyer.
in Bermuda. Yeah, I went to school
Mhm.
here. Oh yeah, I went to school at with the Harvard. Yeah.
It's like, yes, of course. Me and my shrill, nasally voice.
So I wanted to bring we kind of got off music news real quick, but this is pretty cool. Dream Theater is working on their first new album with Mike Portnoy in 15 years.
Oh, good for them. Yeah, that's right. He came back.
Yeah, I saw him play with Adrenaline Mob back in, I want to say it was 2015, 16. Another great band. They were opening up for Drowning Pool
Nice.
when they went on the anniversary of the Sinner tour. 20th anniversary, I think it was. Fuck, we're old.
Were
No,
they?
no, it's the 15th anniversary, I think.
No, the
No,
question that'll really make you feel old is which singer are they on? Are they still on the singer from Soil?
no. The guy they have now has been with them for the last like 3 albums. I
Oh,
can't
good.
remember his name off the top of my head, but we interviewed CJ Pierce about it, and he tossed us like backstage passes. He tossed us like
Oh, nice.
we got to hang on the tour bus with him.
Oh, cool.
I had his personal number in my phone. Like he was like, text me when you're leaving. I'm like, yeah, you're honest. I'll trust you. So I texted him in the morning. I was like, what do you drink? And he gave me some like random ass vodka from like Texas. So my ex went with it at the time. We scoured like 4 liquor stores trying to find this friggin' vodka. We ended up finding it. And so we get to the venue, and I hop on Facebook or something like that. I see that AJ Pero died, and I was like, "Who the fuck's AJ Pero?" And he was the drummer for Twisted Sister, but he was also the drummer for Adrenaline Mob. And my first outward thought that I had, that I spoke very quietly to myself and to my ex who was with me, uh, was I leaned in next to her, and I leaned in real close. I was like, "What is it with Drowning Pool and having people die on tour with them?" And, and so they ended up switching the set. Drowning Pool went on first, and they let Adrenaline Mob close the show to pay tribute to their drummer, which I thought was super cool.
Yeah.
So the first like 4 or 5 songs they bring out a drummer from Breaking Benjamin, like their first drummer. He was gonna be touring with them the rest of the tour. So we did like 4 songs, and they did like 2-song acoustic set, and then they brought up Mike Portnoy to play the rest of the set with them.
Mm-hmm.
So we're on the side of the stage, and they introduce him, and I realize at that moment in time that he is feet from me.
Yeah.
And as a drummer, it's like that moment of like,
You're the guy who does the stuff.
So we get done the show, and we're back on the bus with them, and it's CJ, it's all Drowning Pool, including the new singer. And I was my first time seeing you live with them. You sound fantastic. And then the Mike Orlando, who's the bass player of Adrenaline Mob, came on the bus, and then their singer came on the bus, and sorry for your loss, my condolences, and you did a great show tonight. It was fantastic. And then Portner walks on the bus, and he sits next to me, and I am paralyzed because I have nothing to say. I have no clue what to say. I'm like, it's like if well, I can't say for Corey because we've all met Corey. He's a super cool dude. He's chill as shit. He would, it's like he was taught to like he's known you for years. So my ex leans across me, and she's like, "He's a drummer too," and it's like, "Fuck you,"
Yeah.
but also thank you.
Right.
Because she helped engage the conversation. So it was like an hour and a half on the bus. We're doing shots, and it was beyond insane. And then we had the hour and a half drive back to her house again from the Starline Ballroom. We had to go from Starline Ballroom all the way to fucking Galloway. So it was like a 2 hour drive. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning. It sucked. But speaking of Corey, he was at Monster Mania back in August. And
Right.
Anna had never met him before, and she wanted to meet him before he left. So we get in line with him, and I have no money to buy anything. I have no money to get anything signed for a picture. I just want to say what's up and say hello and have Anna meet him. So the guy in front of us in line is asking him, like, hey, what his favorite venue is to play, or some question about venues. And he's like, I can't tell you my favorite one because I have numerous favorites. If I can tell you the one I hate playing at is Red Rocks, because there's one road that goes to the loading area for the trucks, and they have to go up backwards to be able to load. So he's like, it's a great venue. He's like, the sound is fantastic. It's a fantastic place to play. He's like, but for our crew, for loading and unloading, it's a fucking nightmare.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been in that boat numerous times, or like the way to get to a loading dock is the weirdest thing. Like it's like fucking hidden. Like that's how it is with like the Seattle Convention Center. It's like you have to go to this weird road behind the convention center and then take a hairpin turn that's hidden that takes you in like a loop around to the back of the thing. And
Yeah, it's
yeah,
just,
we'll close it out just because I gotta get food soon. But with a funny story regarding that of how I accidentally well, you know what? I won't spoil the story. I'll just tell you the story. So we did this. I went to this convention in Seattle. Found the weird loading dock. Did the hairpin turn. Did the loop around thing. We get to this loading dock, and we have to wait in line because there's a bunch of people in the loading dock and not enough room. So by the time it gets to my turn, I can't get out of the van. So you just kind of have to like sit and park, wait 10 minutes. You move 10 feet, sit, put it back in park until it's your turn to unload. As soon as it gets to be our turn to park, I have to piss like crazy. So we park, me and my assistant, my other coworker, we just run inside, and I'm like, where are the bathrooms? Right there. I can just go in. And I go in, and it's one of those bathrooms where it's the big archway, and it's like two different directions. And I see over on the right, there's one, I see the women's placard, so I take a sharp left to go into the opposite door.
yes.
And I just go straight to a stall. I just beeline it. I don't think. I close the door and I pee and I make it. And I hear my coworker, who's a woman, be like, Nick. I'm like, be right there. And I'm like, Nick. And I'm like, no, I'm fine. I'll be right there. And I get done. I flush. I come back out, and she's in the bathroom. I'm like, what the hell are you doing in here? She's like, what are you doing in here? This is the women's bathroom. So thankfully, the bathroom was completely empty for full
Yeah.
context. But I didn't realize it was two separate entrances that led into the same restroom. I just went in so quickly. I just had to pee so badly that I didn't realize that it was 2 inches. And then I walk out of the bathroom. I look down and I realize like 20 feet down, there's another archway with two entrances and a placard that says men's room.
Of course. That's how it always works. But yes, we'll cut it there so you can go get food, so I can go to sleep because I have
We
work tomorrow
just hit
morning.
the hour and a half mark.
I know we
90
did.
minutes,
Perfect,
and we ended on a story about how I almost pissed myself, and then
perfect timing.
wound up on a list.
But we're doing. I think we said we're doing bi-weekly. We're doing this thing. So they say you have your thing for work. You go on Fridays. I think we said we're doing our thing for every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So on on Fridays, I'm either streaming here or I'm streaming for work, which is funny.
Yes. But I want to thank everybody for tuning in and for all the comments and whatnot. And we will see. You'll see me tomorrow as I do this again with my other crew.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, we'll see you guys in 2 weeks with more Am I the Assholes and more music nonsense and whatever the fuck else we can figure out to do for an hour and a half. But be safe, guys. Nick, I will talk to you later. And adios, everybody.
Hell yes. Hell yeah, gamers.